We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Once again, the Houston Astros have a winning series. They do so again versus the Blue Jays. I know game 2 was not a pretty game. We're definitely going to address this, but I was at the game on Saturday, and somebody asked me about Kyle Tucker. Can we see him breaking out pretty soon? And yes, he did. Why, yes, he did. So we'll talk about that and more on today's episode of the Locked On Astros podcast. And today's episode is brought to you by Built Bar. Go to BuiltBar.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your next order. Okay, so today's game was a little bit more of the Astros brand of baseball that you kind of expect to see. And before we kind of get into that, let's talk a little bit about our new little style. We're kind of putting some final touches on our new YouTube channel. And guys, please go to subscribe to our new YouTube channel. And it is part of the Tegna network. And we are going to be part of the KHOU 11, Channel 11 family, sort of. So please go subscribe to us. And we're going to be hoping to build this YouTube channel. So go subscribe, like our channel. And we're going to be adding an intro and some different stuff. And we want you to be part of this. So go ahead and be involved during these live broadcasts. You can go ahead and chat and all this. But before we go too far into the show, I want to take a few minutes to say Happy Mother's Day to all the Astros fans out there. I know I spent time with a couple of my mothers today. The other one was up in Conroe. I couldn't get up there to see her today, but I did get a chance to speak to her over the phone. And this past year has been really rough for me, but all my mothers have kind of stepped up and helped me. So I know you had a real special moment today at Minute Maid Park.
Yes, my mother and I, we have not been to an Astros game together since the Astrodome. Now, a lot of that has to do with life circumstances, being, far away from, at college and things like that, and just life happening. Plus, my mother's dealt with a lot of, physical ailments, a lot of issues in and out of hospital here and there. And it's just never crossed my mind, hey, take mom to a game at Minute Maid, just because I didn't know how she'd be able to handle it. But she's been doing really well lately. And she mentioned, I want to go to a baseball game. So she came back. She kind of mentioned something on, Facebook, and I went and got some tickets. My son and I took her to her first game at Minute Maid Park. Jose Altuve, who is her favorite player, gets up to bat, and I happened to start filming when he was up to bat, and he hit a home run. And I said, Mommy, hit that for you. That was a special moment. And then we went to the Authentic shop, and we got her a game-used ball, a ball that Jose Altuve had hit during the 2017 World Championship run. And I got her that as a gift. And so that was really cool. And happy Mother's Day to my wife and my mother-in-law, to my stepmom, and all those out there that I'm connected with. We appreciate you guys. We couldn't do what we do. Obviously, without y'all, we wouldn't be here without our moms. So thank y'all so much. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms listening today.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that everybody has their own little story to tell about your special moments with your moms and moms. I don't know why I said moms, but yeah, definitely, guys. This is definitely a big. I love this day every year where you get to see the Astros and just players in baseball playing with the pink bats. They have the little the pink socks, the stirrups, and everything, and it's awesome to see them kind of going out there and playing. So. This is what? Oh, yeah, I'm a special person. I was in the press box, yeah. And the Astros lost in the game. Then I was out there, and when they were giving up all the runs in the 8th inning, I'm like, okay, yeah, nobody's cussing in here. Am I allowed to cuss? I don't know. So. Yeah, that was kind of rough, but yeah, game 2 was not as good as the other 2 games. Friday's game, I guess we can talk a little bit about Friday's game first, but Friday's game was a little bit more of what we typically expect to see from the Astros. I know Jose Urquidy pitched 7 innings. He allowed only 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He had 2 strikeouts. He did allow 2 homers. but he lowered his ERA and he looked pretty good on the mound. The Astros got some offense. Carlos Correa hit a home run. Yoli Gurriel, I believe that was the night he went 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs. So
Yes.
he was hot that night, and it seemed like the Astros were just on fire. They had 15 hits that night, and they scored 10 runs.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a fun game. Bregman went 3 for 4. Alvarez 2 for 5, just an animal at the plate right now. He's got the highest average on the team, by the way. Gurriel 4 for 4. Carlos Correa got a hit. Tucker got a hit. Tucker broke out today. That was fun watching Kyle Tucker. We'll get to that. Altuve was 2 for 4. So definitely a fun night at the ballpark and a 10-4 win. You know, Ross Stripling, interestingly enough, was one of the guys that when he was asked about the Astros, if he would throw at the players, he said if he got a chance to at some point, he probably would. And he didn't last very long and didn't fare too well with the
Only 3
Astros
2/3
bats.
innings. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he should have thrown at him in the first inning when he had his shot, right? I mean, you know, dude, if you're going to talk smack, at least back it up with like an 8 strikeout game. That's what I would have done personally. But, you know, Emmanuel came in. He gave up a couple earned runs, but he managed to give up the 1 home run. I think they need to use him more, Eric, to get him more in a rhythm. He came into today's game, but Friday's game was definitely a great game. Saturday's game, not so much. Saturday's game, we need to get into that because I think there were some things that I'm not saying that they lost because of certain managerial decisions, but some of the decisions I don't think helped.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was sitting in press box and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not looking pretty good. But Steven Matz looked really good to start the game. I was sitting behind home plate and it was just, his pitches had a lot of movement going on there. He made Carlos Correa look like he didn't know what was going on a few times. And it was just crazy for a while there. But then the Astros got to him for a homer and they didn't walk. But on the other side, the Astros, I believe in the, I want to say off of Christian Javier, that first 3 walks that Christian Javier had, they all came around to score. And that's just not a good record for you to have is when the first 3 walks score. And it just seems like every time the Astros allow a walk, they score. I believe that happened in today's game with Zack Greinke. We'll talk about that in a second. But that the Javier only allowed 4 hits, but when you allow those 4 walks and you give up 5 runs and 2 of those are homers, yeah, that's going to suck a little bit. And it just, I think Dusty Baker said something like that after the game. Yeah, when you allow the walks, it's going to suck. And I was sitting next to Big Sarge in the press booth and he's like, yeah, these walks are killing the Astros. I'm like, well, yeah, somebody needs to go in there and say, hey, stop walking batters. That'll fix it. Right?
Yes, exactly. So Saturday, because I was out doing stuff for Mom's Day for my wife, fixing up the yard. I forgot that the game didn't start at 7:10. I didn't realize it started early. And so when I pulled up my MLB to look at what's going on in the game, I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, 5-0. What's going on? Wait, because I had just got through saying Christian Javier is one of our best starters this year. And someone's like, he's not doing too well. And I'm like, no, he's one of our best starters so far. I didn't realize he had given up the 5 runs. Of course, they're not going to be perfect every game, but Christian Javier, he cannot walk. It's like Dusty Baker said after the game, they've got to clean some things up. There are some definite things to be desired as far as pitching. But I mean, Christian Javier's 3-1, Eric. He was 3-0 going into this game. And so he hadn't really lost his composure like that. So hopefully that's just a hiccup.
Yeah. So speaking of kind of having clean up your game, if you need to get that auto part, where should they go?
They should go to rockauto.com. Rockauto.com is the best place to go. They've been around for 20 years. They are a family-owned business. You can get any part for your car or truck. You don't have to go to a store, get a different price point because you're not a professional mechanic. You also don't have to fish through weeks of back orders. You can go to rockauto.com, type it in your computer, and have the part delivered to your to your door, to your front doorstep. As you're fixing it, your brake pads show up, you throw the brakes on, you're good to go. Save 30, 50, sometimes 100%. It's easily navigable, and it's great for do-it-yourselfers like myself. And when you're fixing your car, you want to save money. So best of all, their prices are always reliably low. Same for professionals and do-it-yourselfers. So go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car and truck, right? Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box. So let them know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need at rockauto.com.
All righty. Jordan Alvarez's swing is very beautiful. I wonder how many homers Bet Online would say that he's going to hit this year.
Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. Baseball season is in full swing, and you can track all the action on Bet Online. This week, tons of sports action are a go, where we have the second leg of the Kentucky Derby coming up, the third leg coming up very soon. Get all the latest news, odds, and info for your sporting needs, including MLB, NBA, NHL, and or UFC or MMA. If you paid attention to betonline.ag, you saw the numbers for Canelo Alvarez and how he predicted an 8-round knockout, which he got a TKO at the end of the 8th round. So don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Get in the game, and this is your chance. As your team makes a run for the playoffs, head to the website with your mobile device or go online, and you'll get a 50% welcome bonus right now with your first deposit with the promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, your online sportsbook experts, betonline.ag.
All righty. So Noli Paredes is somebody the Astros desperately need in the bullpen, because we're about to talk about Saturday's bullpen implosion, I guess we should say. Implosion. So, but Noli Paredes in his last outing, I believe it was with the Hooks, he faced 9 batters. In his last 2 outings, he has faced 9 batters in 3 innings, and he's allowing no hits, 1 walk, while striking out 6 hitters. So he could maybe be returning some point this week. So that would be a welcome addition to the Astros bullpen. But then at the same time, who are you going to take out of the Astros bullpen? I mean, there's some obvious names you're going to take out. No. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Slow down. You're not taking out Joe Smith. No.
I didn't say anything. I didn't even say anything.
Not taking out Rayleigh either. Okay. You're going to have to take out. It's going to be like the last person they brought up. So
wait, how did you read my mind like that? How did you read my mind?
I already know what you're going to talk about. So I already know you. I know you. So,
well, you need to sit their butt on the bench then instead of letting them pitch, because they're screwing everything up. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, Rayleigh and Smith, they just haven't been good. I mean, that's just all there is to it. There's no and ifs or buts about it. Had they been great, I mean, we know Joe Smith has the potential to be good. He's been a reliable relief pitcher. Everybody was excited to have him back. Have y'all forgotten that? Joe Smith is back. He sat 2020 out. He's going to be a fresh arm, and he's been a fresh pile of crap. But you know what? He would probably say the same thing. And sometimes pitchers just aren't in sync. Sometimes they're not locating their pitches. Whatever the book is out on him, whatever's going on with him and Rayleigh, they're just not getting the job done. They've got to get, Abreu came in today, and he did a good job. He had a clean inning. He did a really good job today. And we need more stuff like that. They need confidence builders. And if they don't tighten things up, it doesn't matter if we have a 7-0 lead. We're going to lose those leads against teams that are good, because the Blue Jays are an okay team. They're like us. They're around 500 right now, but they're not a world beater. And so they're not the White Sox or the Twins, who's scoring a lot of runs right now. So we need to be careful and get that crap, like batten down the hatches on the relief pitching.
Yeah, so I know in the 9th inning of Saturday's game was when the bullpen implosion happened, and I know that there was I believe there was an error or so. I don't remember exactly what the error was. Wasn't a Bregman error? No, it was Gurriel. He missed the catch. I think it was a Bregman error where it was an error. I know it was Gurriel. It was called Gurriel's error, but it went away. Yeah, it was an error by Yuli, but somebody, I think it was Bregman who threw it, or Correa who threw it, but they missed it, and 3 runs ended up scoring in that inning or something. So, he didn't catch a throw. So that's why I remember, because I was at that point, I was just like, oh crap, this isn't happening. But I know Abreu, he looked really strong in that inning, and then you bring in a Brooks Raley or whatever his name is. I don't even care. Brooks Raley, yeah. And he comes in and then he walks one batter, and then everything just kind of falls apart. So my question is for the people watching this live, who are you going to put in that situation? You have already used Andre Scrub. You already used Brian Abreu. I know that you had Ken Emanuel. He pitched 2 innings the day before. You have Brian Stanek, who was warmed up and ready. You could have put him in that situation.
Okay, stop. That is your answer. You warmed up Stanek. You should have used Stanek, period. That is the answer. You should have used Stanek in that situation. You shouldn't have gone to Rayleigh. You shouldn't have gone to Joe Smith. There's not a single person on the planet that has a heartbeat and a pulse and breathes oxygen that thinks that Stanek does not belong in that position. And if you do, then go watch Shark Week on Discovery Channel, because this is not Shark Week and this is not an Earth special on Netflix. Use mother freaking Stanek. He is your best guy. Don't put him in the 6th inning, Dusty. Put him in when he's warm at the end of the freaking game. Don't put in Brooks Raley. Don't put in Joe Smith. That's all there is to it. That's your answer, Eric. Your answer is right there in front of your face. It's like, why do I keep smelling poop? Well, it's because your nose is right by the pile of crap. That's why you're smelling crap. That's what it is. Ryan Stanek should have gone in that situation. Hold on. Don't give me this, oh, we had to save him for the next game. Bull crap. You don't have a next game. You have today, and that's it. Sometimes that's how you got to play.
Okay. Alrighty. So
Did I make my point clearly?
Sort of. I think that maybe they're thinking about extra innings, but I don't know. I don't know what Dusty Baker falls in love with a reliever, and he did that last year with Brooks Raley, and now he has Joe Smith, and Joe Smith has had success in the past, and so I don't know.
2 years ago, he had success. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
So eventually, these guys are going to start performing, but like Raley, he has a 9.24 ERA. Joe Smith has a 7.84 ERA. So eventually these guys are going to have to start performing, or the Astros are going to have to look elsewhere. But it's frustrating. I get where you're coming from, Brett. But at this point, until Noli Paredes is ready, until Josh James is ready, until you have other options, you only have so many arms in the bullpen you can throw.
Well, I know, but my point is, you had Stanek warm. You had Garrett Cole warm. Why did you put in Will Harris? Same situation. You had Stanek warm. Put him in the freaking game. Now, if Stanek's shaky, don't do it. I just, Eric, I think they could have kept it close and they would have had a real chance to come back and win. But when they widened the gap, it was almost like you kind of sailed it in with the Raley and Smith, using them in the bullpen. And, but ultimately, here's the thing. The pitcher still got to pitch. If you're called on to pitch, even if it's the wrong call, you've got to make the good pitches. So it's not necessarily on Dusty. Dusty made the call. Now, if they would have gone in and gone 3 up, 3 down, we would be calling Dusty a genius today, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So unfortunately, the Astros were trailing at that moment, right? So it was.
Yes, they were trailing, but they just widened the gap with those 2 pitchers coming in. So
yeah. So why waste your good pitcher at that moment is, I think, what Dusty Baker was looking at. So right. It's one game. It's one game, and Dusty Baker made all the right moves in today's game, I would say. So, I mean, it's.
I could never do what Dusty does.
I don't think it matters. Yeah. So it was 5-4 at that time, and that made it out of touch and out of reach. But at the end of the day, the Astros still won the series. They're now 2 games over 500. So I mean, they did what we want them to do. They're winning series. So yes, Cavan Biggio, I almost said Craig Biggio, but Cavan Biggio got hot at Minute Park, and he did some damage in that game. But let's go and fast forward away from that one. I guess he only got 1 hit, but that was a blast, that one hit. So let's fast forward to Sunday's game. And but Sunday's game was a great game. I know you're probably going to have something to say about Mr. Zack Greinke and the fact that once again he could not pitch more than 4 innings. It's getting kind of weird that your ace
This
is having issues with this. It's almost like he's not built up to do that, and it's kind of like he needs a
oh
built bar to
yeah,
maybe
let's
build his endurance up. So talk
I
to us
need
a little
to
bit about built bar.
I need to get credentialed so I can throw him some built bars. This is the best tasting protein bar ever. I mean, protein are chalky. They're really heavy. They have a ton of sugar. They have massive amounts of calories, like eating a Big Mac, but not with Built Bar. Built Bar is great for the healthy conscious guy or girl. They are great whether you're on the keto diet or whether you're just trying to lose or maintain weight. If you're trying to lose your weight, why not grab one of these great flavors? Most flavors have 17 grams of protein, only 130 calories, only 4 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carbs. You can order flavors like raspberry, mint brownie. And for a limited time right now, though, for Mother's Day weekend, they have strawberry. They probably still have it if you catch it quick enough. Even if you forgot something for Mother's Day, go order it now. You'll make it up to her. She'll love you for it. Use the promo code LOCK15 and get 15% off your order. That's LOCK15 for 15% off at BuiltBar.com. Go grab your favorite flavor and look at the other things they have. They have Built Boost. They have energy gels. They even have Built Broth. I mean, you name it, they have it. BuiltBar.com. They've built a kingdom. It's the best bar in the business.
Alrighty, so Zack Greinke had some interesting quotes after the game, and he said, "I've got to throw the fastball where I want to, where I need it. Right now, when I need to throw a good pitch, I throw a ball. The only way I can throw a strike is I have to aim right down the middle, and they've been hitting it. When I'm on the corners, it goes for a ball. It's a bad combination." And so basically, he's saying he has no control of his pitches right now. And for a control pitcher who doesn't have the stuff anymore, that's a scary combination. And for a guy making as much as Zack Greinke is, he's going to he's going to figure things out. He's going through a rut. He's going
And
through some issues. But I know it just sucks that the guy who's supposed to be your ace right now is just struggling.
okay, clearly he is not the ace of this staff this year. He's just not. I don't care if he's got 20 years in the majors or 2,000 years. He's not your ace. He's your most tenured veteran in the major leagues. So let's call it what it is. He's paid for his 16 years in the majors. Okay. What I saw today in the first 4 innings before he had 5 consecutive hard hit balls off of him was a phenomenal performance. He was not throwing that big looping curve ball, that 48 mile an hour, whatever he throws Evis pitch. He wasn't throwing that. He was throwing the fastball 88 to 91, and he was getting outs. He didn't allow a run up until those 5 hits. He looked decent, but it was like all of a sudden he hit a wall or they had film on him. And I think what he's saying in this quote is he usually gets the corner calls. He usually gets the calls on the edges of the plate. He wasn't getting them. He knows that he's very hittable. So when he's not able to expand the zone a little bit, it hurts him. Outside of that, Eric, this is his 4th time this year going 4 innings or less. 4
Third
times.
straight one, yeah.
3rd straight for this year. It's not a good trend. The only person that can turn it around is him. Now, let's hope that he has a reverse Wade Miley season. Remember when Wade Miley was on fire and then he fell apart at the end of the year? By the way, Wade Miley, congratulations on your no-hitter. Maybe he's going to do a reverse Wade Miley is what I call it. I just made that up, where he starts out really bad and then he becomes this amazing dominant pitcher that we know he can be. Let's hope that he does a reverse Wade Miley. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to believe that. I'm going to name it and claim it, and hopefully I can get a book deal off of that. Call it the reverse Miley season of Zack Greinke in 2021. What do you think, Eric?
I'm not sure, but Johnny suggests that we have Zack Greinke have an opener. I could just imagine that conversation. Hey, Zach, yeah, we think we're going to have an opener for you.
Let me
What are
be
your
Zach.
thoughts?
That would be odd. I would kind of like that, but
Not
what
really, because I'm a
But
starter. I'm supposed to start the
I've
game,
started for a long time.
and I'm supposed to warm up to throw the first pitch, and I'm supposed to do all the exercises to start the game. And if I can't do that, then I'm not going to be able to. So
Okay.
I
So
I
here's
just
the
don't think
thing.
I don't think that that's not the answer. The answer is for him to he's going to get out of this. I'm not worried about Zack Greinke. I
I'm
think
worried
he
about
will
Zack
be
Greinke.
fine.
I'm
He,
worried about him.
he's not going to be this dominant pitcher that he was. He's going to I think he'll get out of this, but is he going to be our game one starter in the playoffs? No.
He better
I
not
think
be.
that's going to be Lance McCullers and hopefully Framber Valdez. Oh, by the way, I did see a note that James Click says that Framber Valdez should return back in June.
Yeah.
So that is welcome news. And I saw that also that, what's his name? Jake Odorizzi should be coming back as well sometime in June. And he may need a
June.
start.
Wow.
Maybe but he did throw a bullpen and he threw 37 pitches and he didn't have any pain or anything. So we should be getting some starters back. And I know that brings up the whole conversation. Well, who do you take out of the rotation? Luis Garcia has pitched really well. Christian Javier pitched good before then. And are you going to take Zack Greinke out of rotation? No, you're not
No.
going to take Zack Greinke
No,
out of
I say
rotation.
no. You take Luis Garcia out. You take the least tenured guy. You just take him out. That's just all there is to it. But today was a team win, Eric. This is a perfect example of what this team is able to do.
Talk about Tucker.
Hold on, I'm about to. They scored 7 runs, and Kyle Tucker. It was funny right before he hit his triple. I was discussing with my mom. I said, "Look at the batting averages of the team," and I showed her how his average was one of the lowest, but how he had some of the most promise, and kind of went through his history. And I said he really needs to get a hit here. He hits a 2-run triple. Wow, good job. And then the next at bat, he crushes a home run. And dude, someone caught it, like hit their hands, and it bounced into another girl's hands, and she caught Kyle Tucker's home run. It was actually really cool. It's one section over from us. But Kyle Tucker really needed that game today. He needs to keep using the pink bat. My friend Corey Hightower at Highest Tower on Twitter said that, so Kyle Tucker is going to be using the pink bat from here on out, correct? Because I think there's some mojo in that bat. But you also had Alvarez, Eric. Alvarez 3 for 4, and I posted his hit chart from Baseball Savant today. I was looking at it at the game, and winter team's going to stop shifting him to right field because that he's hit 75% of his balls into left field. He has been hitting opposite field. Almost every one of his hits is to center field or to left field. Eventually, you're not going to be able to shift. And I don't know if you saw this on TV today, but they pulled the third baseman all the way into left field. So they actually did kind of play for that. They pulled the third baseman for Toronto was playing right where Michael Brantley plays. They had 4 outfielders against Alvarez. And this guy is hitting all over the field. He's hitting 362. Brantley's at 310. Bregman's at 312. Bregman went 0 for 5 today. Altuve had a couple hits, went 2 for 5 with the home run. Hit that one for my mom. I convinced her it was for her. And then Robel Garcia got a hit today. Robel Garcia looked good out there in the field. So when Zack Greinke wasn't his sharpest, the team scored enough runs to be that buffer. And that's what you have to do to win ball games down the stretch.
Yeah, and it seems like the Dusty Baker brought out the A team in terms of the bullpen today. Kent Emanuel looked really good today. Stanek came out. Andre Scrub came out. It looked good. Ryan Presley came out, looked good. And Brian Abreu is starting to mature into that reliever the Astros need. Is he going to have a game where he's going to look like he's terrible? Yes. But for most part recently, he's looked pretty great. And in that game where I was in the press booth, his stuff, it just has this movement that you don't get to see on the TV. It's just really great to see. So I think that the bullpen, once you get Noli Paredes back, and once you maybe, I don't know if Josh James is, I don't know if they're going to make him a reliever or a starter. Who knows what's going to happen? But Kent Emanuel needs to be used more. But I really think that they're saving him for the long relief appearances, like the 2 innings he had the other day. But it was good to see him in here. So the Angels are coming to town. No, Wait, no, we're going to Anaheim, silly Eric, right?
Yeah,
It's been a long
we
day.
are no. So you have yeah, it is an 8-10 start. No, it's here, dude.
No, yeah, I was right. I was right.
We've got a 9-game homestand going, man.
Yeah, I was
Luis
right.
Garcia, yeah. Luis Garcia is going. But hey, one more thing I want to mention about the game today, about the relief pitching, because you said they did bring their A game today. Of the 11 strikeouts, those relief pitchers got 7 of those 11. Your last 3 pitchers each got 2 strikeouts. Ryan Presley is looking really good. I don't know if you know this, but his pitches grade out to be some of the highest ratings in the league right now. He's actually pitching really, really well. And I think that's a good thing for this team. We have to have more games where these relief pitchers come in and do what they're supposed to do. I think with Anaheim coming, I don't think they're as strong as they were at the beginning of the year. And I really think that opening up, I'm going to call it, Eric. I think Luis Garcia gets his first win on the season this year. I know he's 0-3. He has the other no decision with his 4th start. I think he gets the win on Monday.
I thought you were done making predictions.
Well, I'm not predicting a score. But you know what? After today, I'm wearing my victory shirt, so I'm feeling good. I had a great game with the family. So man, dude, I'm all about it. Let's go, Luis Garcia, first win, notch it. No.
Okay, all right. I'm really worried about tomorrow's Monday's matchup. It's gonna be Luis Garcia versus TBA. I hear TBA has this wipeout slider and it's nasty curveball.
I don't even know where they're from. They're from some obscure country.
Yeah. And then
Tanzania or
Tuesday's
something.
matchup, it's gonna be this is gonna be the one that I'm excited about. It's gonna be the Lance McCullers versus Shohei Ohtani, and I'm sure Ohtani's gonna hit 2 home runs and gonna strike out 10 Astros. And
Oh, that's right, because he's gonna hit too, right?
yeah. And then Wednesday, it's gonna be Jose Urquidy versus Andrew Heaney. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Astros are gonna take care of business and win 2 out of 3, because I don't think the Astros, with the way they're playing right now, I don't think they're gonna sweep a team right now. But if they're going to lose a game, I say they're going to lose the Tuesday game. Has nothing to do with Lance McCullers. I just think that the way Shohei Ohtani has dominated the Astros this year, I think that's the game that they're going to lose if they're going to lose a game.
Well, you know what that guy's doing this year, Eric, is MVP quality. You know, hitting, pitching, he's doing it all. He's actually an entertaining player to watch. I just hate that he's not on our team.
Yeah, so today on the Locked On Today podcast, how should NFL teams handle players who do not want to get vaccinated? Get more of the sports news you need in less time with the Locked On Today podcast. Follow the Locked On Today podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.